started as a parade of people carrying signs and displaying their voices.
This week, activists vomited on an HLS display table at a pharmacological conference in San Francisco on Monday and then turned over tables yesterday. SHAC members and supporters rioted in Little Rock, Arkansas last October during a weekend of action.
The apparent targets, two insurance companies that do business with a British laboratory, Huntingdon, that tests products on animals.
Police began arresting people. Now, many of the
This week, activists vomited
Insurance companies that do business with a British laboratory, Huntingdon, that tests products on animals.
They force Splenda down the throats of beagles.
That even when you go into a store and you see a bottle of something that says this product was not tested on animals, what that really means is that that product specifically wasn't tested on animals, but every ingredient that goes into the manufacture of the product had to be tested on animals. As a matter of fact, it's a federal law.
Stop Huntingdon Animal Cruelty was formed for one explicit purpose: to shut down Huntingdon Life Sciences.
The Kevin Jonas that I know is a very brilliant, smart person, very meek, very small man, non-threatening. To hear him described as a animal rights terrorist is almost laughable because, again, tax dollars at work. If that man's a threat, I don't know what they're going to do when they find a real one.
My name's Kevin Jonas, and I am a 10-year veteran of the animal rights movement. I've been the president of Stop Huntingdon Animal Cruelty USA for the past few years before I had to resign because of this current indictment. And Josh and I and 5 others are currently under federal indictment in the District of New Jersey for violations of the Animal Enterprise Protection Act right now. We're going to court on February 6th to meet these charges that we feel are very constitutionally flawed and charges that have to be defended against and ultimately beaten.
My name is Josh. I grew up in Oregon, and I guess kind of the areas I grew up in were my initial inspiration for becoming involved in animal rights and environmental activism. I lived kind of in the heart of the Willamette Valley, and so I was surrounded on all sides by mountains, grasslands, streams, forests, kind of the whole shebang. And so growing up in those areas and basically having the contact that I had with animals and with natural beauty made me want to fight very hard to protect it. So from the time I was 16, I've been involved, and here I am as an indicted terrorist.
Look, the SHAC movement is very interesting just because it's so violent and so disturbing. It's sort of a special interest subset of the Animal Liberation Front.
Don't ask for animal liberation. Just take it.
It's very much like the abortion movement. You know, they had the websites where they had the abortion doctors listed and their home addresses, and then, you know, all kinds of horrible statements about what these people had done. It's exactly the same operation.
I want you to look at yourself in the mirror. You're a tremendous threat to the status quo.
These are people who believe so strongly that testing medicines and new drug therapies on animals is so wrong that you literally have to beat up the people who are involved in the work.
I turned to find 3 individuals with balaclavas and what certainly looked like pickaxe handles or something of that nature. So I got quite a severe beating across my arms and shoulders and a very nasty gash on the head.
Activism in this country, the violent side of animal activism, really took a turn for the worse with the SHAC movement. And if somebody doesn't put a stop to it, either with new laws or with some effective prosecutions, it's just a matter of time before the whole movement starts to say, hey, who cares what's right or wrong? Let's look at what works.
If the state keep closing in on legitimate protest and making it illegal and dangerous to demonstrate lawfully, people are going to go to the furthest extreme.
Killing people.
The furthest extreme, absolutely, is to take the life of somebody like Brian Cass.
SHAC is, by and large, a movement. It's in 18 different countries. Anybody that demonstrates against Huntingdon Life Sciences can say, I did this as a part of a SHAC campaign. SHAC USA, however, was a website and it was a newsletter disseminating information, reporting on other people's protest activities, cheerleading some of it, rah-rah. Some of it was really cocky and smart-ass. And that's really kind of why a lot of people in the U.S. loved the SHAC campaign, is because it wasn't afraid to raise its middle finger to the FBI and the threat of lawsuits. It was young, it was energetic, and it was angry.
I mean, you had this incredible coming together of all different ages, all different groups of people.
What's controversial about the Stop Huntington Animal Cruelty campaign is that we're pretty brazen and we've employed a campaign tactic common in a lot of political movements called name and shame.
Your queen! Your fault! Your country! Your fault! Your money! Your fault!
You know, the companies that we're protesting against, they have 50,000 employees. They have 30-floor skyscrapers. When we hold our demonstrations, when we stand outside of a 30-story building made of glass and mortar with our signs, we're not going to impact many people. The people that you need to get the message out to are these executives that control these companies, the CEO, the president, the VP. All of them have home addresses, all in the telephone book.
You know, what you really have here is defamation for dollars with these animal rights organizations. You know, if you had a friend who was accused of molesting a child, what would your reaction to that friend be? It would be to move away a little bit. And that's really what they do. They vilify these people in such dreadful ways that even people who've known them think, my God.
We will never compromise! All your hiding, all your lies!
I certainly don't have any desire to, go to somebody's home and humiliate them. But at the end of the day, if they've proven themselves to be absolutely resistant to your message, if they can't be affected by the footage of these beagles being, punched in the face, or primates being dissected while they're still alive, and you get sick after a while of seeing them hide behind their layers and layers of assistants and secretaries and security, at the end of the day, sometimes you have to go to their home, or else they're not going to hear your message. You're going to be ignored, and 500 animals a day are going to continue dying inside of HLS.
Who is
He's
this?
an executive for Bank of America.
Okay, and what is Bank of America?
Bank of America is the owner of a company